Music Makers at the Keyboard, Year 1, Book 1, Week 7. This is the updated version, 2017. If we wait for the moment when absolutely everything is ready, we'll never begin. And that's especially true for this program. This is a process-based program, and pieces are introduced almost every week. And they're not done with these pieces when they can play them. They continue to play them, and when they're ready, they'll be able to play them, not before. And so we don't want to wait for that moment. We're doing all sorts of steps up to that moment. Well, this week we introduced the key of G. So far we've been using C and D. We've been finding them on the piano, and we know that they're near the two black keys. Now we're introducing G, which is 3 black keys found here. Now some children may want to count up G, A, B, C, D, A, F, G. That's a slower way to go about it. It's much easier if they can think of that there's 3 keys and it's the key right in between there. So here we are on the G. They should look for all the G's on their piano, and they should do that often. And you can take the C card, the D card, and the G card, and they could play them high, middle, and low. That's a fun game to play if you notice your child is having trouble finding these notes on the piano. We're learning Hot Cross Buns on the piano in the key of G position. So that means putting their hands in G position, putting their thumb of their right hand on G, and then playing our warm-up. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do, sol, do. Now it's really high up there, but I encourage them to sing and play all the time. Here's the left hand doing it. Pinky's on G. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do, so, do. The other warm-up is, of course, the chord warm-up, and we've been doing the two-note chord warm-up. Do, so, 1 chord, so, fa, 5/7 chord, 1 chord, 5/7, 1 chord. And this should be done in the right hand as well. Do, so, 1 chord, so, fa, 5/7 chord, do, so, do, 1 chord. So that's called warming up. Now they're playing Hot Cross Buns. Their hands are in the Hot Cross Buns position, and they're listening to the practice CD 1, number 14, and they're listening and they're finding these patterns. And by now, I'm not going to show you it. I think that the only thing I'm going to show you is that it should start on a me. That's it. They can also play the chord progression as they're singing. Hot cross buns, hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Now the next assignment says to try Who's That in G, D, and C. So they've been doing it in D and C, and now they're adding it in G. Some may be able to do this. Yeah, I'm sure they'll do that too. Listen for Bells is also done in G, D, and C. Here it is in G. Notice I added the 5/7 chord. Now, they may still be doing listen for bells in the steeple to ring, where they're singing and playing the chords. That's absolutely fine. All right, the other piece that they're reviewing is Mousie in key of G. Or they may put in the left hand. All of these different variations are absolutely fine, as well as just playing Mousie in the housey, hurry, hurry, do. Of course, they're all going to want to add the run at the end. I mean, that's the best part. Okay, then they go to the melodic notation game 1. That's on their practice CD. So if you haven't taken the Seller app off of the practice CD, go do that now, or go to the back of book 1 and download the practice CD. And do make sure that that player is near the piano, not in another room. They take out their card filer and they're going to go get their new blue cards, which should be under the blue part if they can get that far. And there are a total of 8 cards. And they're beginning to see the staff, which has 5 lines. They're seeing the clef, which is the G clef in this case. They're seeing these sharps, which we call a key signature. They're noticing that I'm calling D-do. D-do here is below the staff. I'm calling it a D. They're looking at these and they're finding the D-do onto the different cards. Here I'm doing it now. They're looking for that note. Do, do, do. And those are D's. There's D. All right, so we're really beginning to get some sounds and names going. And they're going to use these cards for each day. They're going to play the melodic notation game 1. It only takes a moment. Doing it every day is so important. When they're done, they put it back in because I'm going to need them at the next class and they need to be able to find them. Finally, they have a writing assignment. They go to page 20. My book's a little older than yours, but here it is. They're beginning to learn how to draw a circle in a space. We call that a space note. And they're going to draw several circles in this space. And then they're going to write on, they're looking at the staff. And we're going to do this in class. Sometimes the notes are below the staff, and I use those words. Where is that note? It's below the staff. Here's the staff. These are above the staff, and I say that above the staff. I also will say this is space 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so they're practicing that drawing. I hope they have fun at the piano this week, and I hope that they make a lot of music.